All right, guys. Congrats on a good draft. Cheers to a good season coming up. Just some Elijah Craig small batch. Puts a little hair on your chest. I think I need some more, so I'll drink some of that tonight. All right. Thought about how I was going to do this, whether I was going to do draft order or worst to best, but I think I'm just going to stick with draft order. That's going to be the best way to go about it. So, without further ado, DT, you are up. Love your start, but where you got a little cute in the second half of your draft. I know you had dynasty leagues and stuff like that, but this isn't a keeper league. A lot of rookies. I think 5 from what I counted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, running backs every week starters, but wide receiver, with Hopkins out the first 6 weeks, if Godwin can't go that first week, could be tough. And then again, a lot of question marks on who's going to fill in there. Kittle just can't ever seem to stay healthy. He's a great tight end while he's in there, and sounds like you might have Jimmy G thrown to him again. But a veteran QB like Stafford with a lot of weapons coming off a Super Bowl, I mean, could be a good year. It's really hard to project, given some of the injury concern with Godwin and a lot of rookies. Who the heck knows is going to pop? So I got a middle of the road. I originally said B, but I actually think it's more of a B minus. ESPN says he was 5 out of 12. I got him at a B minus border there. Mike P. Everyone knows I'm not in love with CMC. I think he's made of glass, and his injury risk is high. Seems to have a lot of soft tissue injuries. And he's not got a great O-line, different head coach than he did with Rivera when he had his one big season. But if he could stay healthy, I mean, that guy could pop. And pair him with Jacobs. Jacobs isn't a contract year. I know they got O-line concerns in Oakland. They just lost, what's-his-face, or they cut whatever's the first-round pick from last year, Leatherwood or something like that. But, man, that's solid. And then Pollard as a third running back, I mean, he's one of the best backup running backs out there with Kareem Hunt. So he has standalone value as well. Running backs could be his weak spot, but, man, stud wide receiver crew. And then I love Christian Kirk this year. I actually put money on his over. Kiss of death, I know, Mike P. Sorry. And Myers, and again, a solid start, probably a guy that, doesn't have a high ceiling, but he's not going to probably go for an over in a given game. Elite tight end. Might see some decreased red zone targets with Adams now. Russ in Denver, like it. Mike P, just keep an eye early on the running backs and on the waivers, and I think he's looking pretty good. I got him at a B. ESPN said 8 out of 12, but I got him at a B. Jer, love the start of your draft also, said it in the text. Eckler does have some injury concerns at the end of last year, and I think he's got some concussion concerns, if I remember correctly. No denying he's a solid 2 running back, 2 wide receiver start for Jer there. DK's a beast. I mean, I guess it's Geno Smith now, but it's like Russ had something against him. I don't know what it was. He just didn't want to target him, and he would get ghosted some games. And, I mean, if you're Locke or you're Geno, you know that DK's got to get that ball, so feed him. Way too early on a kicker. Not a great amount of depth at running back. Real shaky tight end. It just didn't end up well for Jer in the end. ESPN says 11 out of 12. I got him at a C+. All right, Andy. Man, I was hoping Montgomery would get back to me. I probably wouldn't have anyways. Really messed up what I wanted to do. I kind of thought that was going to be my plan. He was going to be my second running back. What I'm saying, I like what you did there. And I also like your Mahomes pick. I think it was the perfect time for him. You got some wild cards, some problem players in Michael Thomas. But with Jameis there and Breeze gone and no Taysom Hill trying to throw, hey, maybe he'll actually play this year. He hasn't played in 2 years, but we'll see. But the great thing about Andy is wide receivers are plentiful. It's easy to find someone on the waiver wire there compared to some of the running backs. I also think he's got a good tight end and just solid depth in general. I can dig it. I give ESPN says 4 out of 12. I got him with a B+. All right, Patty, what a draft. I feel like he just took straight advantage of pieces falling to him. I mean, Adams at 20, that's ridiculous. Probably, when I look back at the board, one of the best picks, I think, in the whole draft. It was the easiest pick to make, obviously, but 2 studs, and then he's got 3 really startable guys at running back, too. Wide receiver, or Adams is going to can cure a lot of ailments. He's got great chemistry with Carr. They went to college together. Carr was throwing it to him at college. Now, Waddle, I don't love, because Tyreek's there. Waddle had a good year last year, but now with Tyreek, I don't know. Maybe a little bit early on Waddle, but we'll see how it pans out. I'll tell you what, though. If Tyreek goes down with some sort of injury, Waddle is going to eat. Really shaky tight end. But Herbert, super solid. The reality is you only start 7 outside of kicker and defense. And he's got the Bills' defense, stud. But I even like it better than ESPN outside of the tight end spot. ESPN 6 out of 12. I give him a solid A-. Kerry Segroy. I liked about every other one of your picks. I felt like, oh, man, that's a great pick. Oh, what was she thinking there? Henry, I'm not sold. He's got a plate in his foot now. He's, going to be 29 years old or is 29 years old. That's usually towards the twilight, the end of a career. They lost Quisenberry, I think, and Saffold on the offensive line, the right and left guards. So it could be a little tough sledding for him. But you got Andrews then in the second round. Love it there. Top tight end last year. And then Hill, I already said I like Hill, a little bit. I didn't say I liked him better than Waddle. But with Hill there, getting him in the third, I could have sworn he was going to go end of second, early third. So she got them. But then I didn't like Deontay. No more Ben, no more little checkdowns. I think Mitch Trubisky's going to hit up Claypool more. Wait till we talk about Joe's team. Mitchell okay, CEH gross. Feeling amazing, love it. Brady, nasty. Anyways, really going to go again. Brady's not going to throw 700 passes again. Let's be real. Before he came back this year, he was like, you're not going to have me drop back 700 times, are you? Okay, good. I'm going against ESPN here because they love Henry and they love Brady. But I just have her at a good old B right there in the middle. ESPN had her at 1. All right, Joe, the other half. A couple picks I liked. Love the start. Najee, Kelsey, if I was in his spot, that's what I would have loved to get. And he got him. And then I just said Claypool. Man, late there on Claypool, late on Galladay. Galladay's the number 1 there. Everyone's drafting Tony, but Galladay's the one that's on the field like the most. Mike P, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know everyone hates Galladay because he was crap last year, but he's on the field the most snaps, and they're going to be running a lot of 4 wide. They got Dabble now there. Wasn't thrilled with the rest of his draft, though. Akers coming off an Achilles. That's tough to come back for, and he did not look good in the regular, NFL playoffs last year. We'll see how he does. Gibson benefited from Robinson getting shot in the leg twice the other day, so looks a little bit better. I originally had him at a C. Cooks is always solid. St. Brown's good. He's a good player. He did benefit a lot more when Hawk was out, so we'll see what that looks like now that Hawkinson's there and back in the fold. I'm going to, because of the Gibson, he's got Brian Robinson, snagged also, but I think I'm going to go, I'll upgrade him from a C to a C plus for that. ESPN had him at a 9 out of 12. Matt, half paying attention in the draft, half watching UNC. Draft was solid. Running back position will be a position to watch. A little bit question of his depth and questionable starters. Connor, solid. I think he's going to be great there as long as he can stay without injury. He's got a good offensive line and a good offense there. Devin Singletary, though, 5'7" running back. I think Cook overtakes him. Cook's 5'11". Singletary's a little more weight on him than Cook, but that size worries me. Maybe it'll be the pass catcher and Cook will take over, but Zach Moss looked good also. And I wanted Goddard so bad, and you took him right there. I was like, oh, the next 2 guys have tight ends. As long as Matt doesn't take Goddard, I'm going Goddard here. Boom. But you commented him with Hurts, who I also think is going to have a great year and definitely finish. I think he'll finish above where he's getting drafted. Gage is a nothing. Gabe Davis hasn't caught more than 35 balls in his first 2 seasons each year. Everyone watched that one huge game against Kansas City. They were playing man-to-man, shutting down Stephon Diggs. So, yeah, the team's playing man-to-man, shutting down Stephon Diggs. Look for Gabe Davis. But I don't know. We'll see. I like his under on the year. A little high for my thing. I'm a little bearish on the champ. I got him at a B-. ESPN says a 7 out of 12. Core, really nice balanced start with Chase and AJ, Javonte, and Dobbins. Not sure if Dobbins is going to start the year, but I'm pretty sure. Did you draft Mike Davis? I can't remember, just in case. Doesn't matter now because Kenyon Drake's there. Miles Sanders, Cordell Patterson, can't support that. Darnell Mooney, now, I know Fields and Lance, right? Well, Lance isn't going to start on. It doesn't sound like anymore. They love trying to go deep. They just love it, and they'll connect on some of those. But there's no other receivers there, so they're going to take over the top away from Mooney. So I don't like that. He's going to have safety coverage. They're going to make him work for yards underneath. Not a Mooney fan this year, but he's got Rodgers. Rodgers doesn't throw interceptions. He's got Mark Ingram, in case Kamara gets suspended at the end of the year instead of the start. We'll see. But just like with Andy, he's got he doesn't have a lot of depth and a lot of great receivers, but those are always things to be found. But I'm also a little bearish. ESPN says 2 out of 12. I just have him at a B+. Bradley, B+ is still good, though. I'm just not as high as, actually, that might be the second highest score behind Patty's. Anyways, Bradley, ESPN says at the worst, and I don't have any arguments. His wide receivers are just sad. Bateman as his 2, with Allen Robinson as his 1. That worries me a lot. Allen Robinson's, okay, but we saw what he did last year, granted, in the Bears, awful season. Teams just shut him out and took him out of the game script. So now he's in a better place. But man, I'd be scared if he was my number 1. Not sold as running back either. We just talked about Kamara. Is he going to get suspended? Maybe he doesn't get suspended in the beginning of the year. We'll see how it plays out. But suspended at the end of the year is worse, man. If you don't have him going into the playoffs, And then Swift, great pass catching ability. Jamal Williams is still there. If you're watching Hard Knocks, he's kind of the leader, the soul of the team. And if St. Brown's going to be good, and Hawkinson's supposed to be a great tight end, and Swift is supposed to catch all these balls out of the backfield, and they got DJ Chark there also, and then some Williams guy that DT drafted, I don't even know. You got all these guys, why aren't we drafting Jared Goff? If everyone's going to be catching and getting 100 yards and a touchdown every game. So I'm not sold on Swift. There's a lot of mouths to feed, and he's an undersized running back also. But we'll see. Hey, ETN, though, also. Doug Peterson likes to split carries with his running backs. And so I'm not sold. ETN in the 4th. I get it. James Robinson's still there, though. Burrows is still. Rams defense solid. But, sorry. ESPN says 12 out of 12. I got you at a D. All right. Now for my team, ESPN says I'm 3 out of 12. I got to say no way on that. I feel solid at receiver with Debo, Scary Terry, and Juju. And then I got Lazard and Landry right behind him as solid producers that, they may not get 20 points, but, they may be, especially if Michael Thomas does nothing, they may be getting me, 8 to 10 a week. I'd be all right with that as a flex. My running backs were so dumb. So I took my second running back, and then I realized, same bye week as my first. Cool. The next comes around, Goddard got snaked in front of me and I panicked, so I took Ertz, and thinking I would take Pierce when it came back to me. Nope. Kerry Dunlap took Pierce, so I'm just totally screwed at running back, and I just got to hope. I'm like Mike P. I got to find somebody on the waivers early probably. Maybe someone goes down. I can pick someone up. But anyways, that's why I was drafting garbage late. I don't really call my draft very good. I do have Josh Allen, so that's helpful, but I think they run a little bit more than they do in years past. So ESPN says 3 out of 12. I give myself a B-. Last but not least, Kerry Dunlap. For no prep, it certainly showed. It's almost like she was listening to Bradley. She's got some solid running wide receivers. RBs could be a question mark. Now, when I wrote this, Marlon Mack wasn't there. I don't think it changes Pierce's value at all. There's still Royce Freeman, and who's the other guy? Rex Burkhead's still there. I think there's someone else too. It's like Marlon Mack was kind of thought that it was going to be cut. So that's not amazing news, but it does make you wonder, and it makes you at least feel a little more confident in Pierce. So that's good. Fournette, I'm worried about his O-line. They lost some pieces on their O-line, and so I'm worried about Brady for the same reason, but maybe it means a lot of dump-offs to Fournette if Brady's getting less time to throw. But like Diggs, like I said, I like Pierce. He's a rookie running back on a bad team, which is why I don't like not a rookie running back. I don't like Penny because his team's so bad they're going to be down. Are they going to run the ball? But like Pierce, they got a good O-line, and Lovie Smith likes to run the ball, and so they may run with him. And then Boyd, they call that what is that? I don't really know what the term is, but a leverage play, a leverage receiver. Because if Chase or Higgins go down, he immediately fills into like a really good spot. You get someone like that goes down on Houston, It's like, okay, Brandon Cooks goes down in Houston. I'm not really that interested, but Burrow and company, yeah. So I like Boyd. I actually wanted to take him. She snagged it for me. But I'm not excited about Dak. He doesn't run, doesn't have a lot of weapons. Gallup's not going to be there for the beginning of the season. CeeDee Lamb's there. Maybe Pollard will play out of slot. But he lost Cooper, lost Cedric Wilson, so doesn't run a lot anymore. But anyways, let's call a spade. Just an even, nice C plus grade for her. ESPN has her at a 10 out of 12. All right, well, that's my draft recap. I'm sure it'll be absolutely wrong, but it was fun looking at everyone's team, making an assessment. And please let me know why you think that I am wrong.